Hello, I'm BrigantiaBlackbird of Blackbird's Brew. Happy Friday and welcome to the Pagan Housewife. Let's talk about staycations. Between inflation and other economic factors, the staycation is likely to become the most practical way to structure time off of work. It doesn't have the shiny sheen of a conventional vacation or the thrill of being in unfamiliar climes, but that doesn't mean that a staycation has to leave us feeling cheated or left out of things. In the post COVID and post lockdown era, the idea of staying at home probably sparks rebellion in the souls of many, but we all have limitations on our resources. That's just the reality of where we're at. And that could very well mean that traveling is not in our immediate future. So it's important to make the staycation feel different from our everyday lives and different from when we were cooped up during the lockdowns. This is vital to our mental health. We do not need to revisit that particular interior territory again. And we, of course, want our time off of work to be restored to us. So let's start by setting the stage. Success doesn't just happen, it has to be planned. So let's plan to set the stage. We wouldn't be doing chores during vacation if we were to leave our homes. So we shouldn't be doing chores when we have a staycation. So we need to make sure to get all of that groundwork done ahead of time. And that means cleaning the house, doing the laundry, paying bills, mowing the lawn, weeding the garden. Get all of that out of the way so you don't have anything hanging over your head that would get in the way of relaxing. Enlist your spouse, enlist your children, tell them that their cooperation now will be rewarded later. Another good idea is to allow yourself to be divorced from your phone for the week. Get away from the lunacy of social media and try to make this a household commitment. Your spouse, your kids, just get rid of the bloody phones. Don't check your work emails. Let people know that you are going to be out and out of reach, and things can wait for a week. Barring an emergency in which, great Aunt Matilda just keeled over, you do not have to do anything. You can be left alone. The world will still be there when you come back. So try to detach yourself from any sense of urgency to be at other people's beck and call. Get away from any sense of guilt that other people try to impose on you for not being 100% available to them all the time. Give yourself permission to get psychologically away. And don't forget to freshen the energy within your home. Stagnant energy clings to objects just like dust does. So if you get rid of that stagnant energy, it sets you up to go into your staycation in a more calm and relaxed fashion. So let's talk about activities. There's no sense in just, vegetating in front of various screens during a staycation. We all did way too much of that during the lockdowns. So the first question to consider is how much driving around can we reasonably afford to do? Now, if the price of gas wasn't so horrific, I'd say, make full use of local attractions, whatever they are: zoos, museums, amusement parks, nature trails, historical sites, any and everything that's nearby. We usually don't make the effort to see what's actually around us, so by all means, go and do that. But the cost of gas is what it is. So try to narrow things down, possibly even to just one thing that you and your family would enjoy getting out and doing. And be sure to calculate the cost ahead of time: how much gas you're likely to use, price of food, entry fees, other expenses, and then repeat the exercise with other local attractions. And when you do this planning ahead, it will help you get a better idea of what you can and can't afford. That way you go in knowing what you are able to do. Second question to consider is what fun resources do you possess at home or, within the town in which you live? If you're lucky enough to have a pool or a nearby obliging lake, you can plan on having beach days and just get out there, soak up the sun, play in the water. And if you worked hard to create a pleasant landscape, a staycation is the ideal time to enjoy the fruit of your labors. That's why you should always have a spot to be able to sit and admire your work in your own home garden. So it's probably also a good idea to have a general plan so you don't end up kind of doing the exact same thing every day. That leads to boredom, especially if you have children at home, and that could be absolutely fatal to getting any kind of peace and quiet. So, you might choose one day to just be a movie day. I know we're getting away from screens, but it's different when you sit down and just have a movie day. It could be a marathon of your absolute favorite series or particular set of movies, or maybe going out to the theaters. I know there's usually a discount for matinee tickets. Of course, this is if money allows and if there's anything in the theaters that you actually want to see. But being able to say, on this particular day, we're just going to get absorbed in storytelling, that could work. Another day could be a crafting day. It doesn't have to be fancy or complicated, just make something. And this could also be a way to keep the children wrangled for a while. Another day could be devoted to making treats in the kitchen, whether you're wanting to make a really lovely dinner that you ordinarily don't have time to make, or you're wanting to put your smoker or grill in the backyard to good use, or if it's just been ages since you made your homemade fudge with the family secret recipe. Just whatever your special treat is, make a point to make it. Then spa days. They are a delightful treat. You do your facial masks at home, have a nice long soak in the bathtub, paint your nails, give your hair a treatment, and just lounge around in the comfiest clothes imaginable while reading really decadent novels. This can be very relaxing. And if your children just might get in the way of that, then maybe it's time for them to go visit Grandma. Now, for when the kids are at home, try a game day. Board games, card games, even video games if you're able to actually play together as a family, because the whole idea is to interact with each other, spend time together when there's not a task to be crossed off the list, and it can be a little bit more low key, relaxed, and not quite so structured. Being able to have some unstructured time together. And of course, try to get out to nature as much as you can. Even if it's just a walk around the block, just breathe in that fresh air, see what the flora and fauna are doing, and let that atmosphere decompress you. Now, spiritually, a staycation is also an opportunity to have time to do ritual, uh, maybe something a little bit more involved or something more often. You could also meditate more than you're usually able to do. If you're wanting to get crafty in your kitchen, you can definitely have time to do that. But it's also an opportunity to indulge in a little bit of old fashioned storytelling. Now, our pagan ancestors, they told the stories, legends, and myths around their campfires. It was how they passed down their beliefs and culture. So, if you have space for a bonfire or a fire pit or even just a circle of candles, you can recreate that tradition. You can pick a story that's just full of excitement and thrills, and you gather around the flames, maybe under the stars if it's possible to be outside, and tell the story. And really get into it. Don't worry about looking silly because you're around your family, not an audience. And tell the story and give the kids something to remember. And of course, don't forget music, especially if it relates to the pantheon you work with, or if it helps you meditate, or just sets a mood that helps you relax. Immerse yourself, and your staycation can be truly refreshing. So I hope some of these ideas will prove useful. If you have other ideas, please let me know in the comment section below, or come share them on Discord at Blackbird's Brew. There's a link to join in the description box below. And the economy being what it is, it'd probably be a good idea for us all to swap ideas and brainstorm together. That way, when we do have our time off, that we are actually able to enjoy it and not feel quite so deprived. So that'll do it for this one, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.